Well, let's talk some football questions. You know, it's reported that you carry a Buckeye in your golf bag for good luck. You know, how closely do you follow Ohio State athletics, particularly football?
I have at least one in my bag. I'm sure that in case somebody steals one, I've got an extra one.
Okay.
But well, of course, obviously, I went to Ohio State. I grew up in Columbus. I grew up a Buckeye fan, and you know, my father played football at Ohio State, basketball and baseball, and so you know, I've been an Ohio State fan all my life, and of course, I get up to, I live in Florida now, but I still get up for maybe 3 or 4 games a year.
Okay.
And so I see quite a bit. I watch it all on television, but you know, I follow other teams too. I have 5 kids that all went to 5 different schools. One went to Ohio State, and one went to North Carolina. One went to Florida State and played football at Florida State, and one went to Georgia Tech, and one went to Georgia. So and all those kids went on athletic scholarships. So yeah, I'm very proud of that. They went all a bunch of different schools. Now I got my grandkids coming along.
So you've got some.
Yeah, I've got Nebraska's recruiting one of my grandkids right now.
Really?
Yeah.
In what sport?
Football. Right?
Football. Right. You know, from an Ohio State graduate perspective, you know, what's your impression of Nebraska coming to the Big Ten?
Well, you know, my interpretation of what's going on, at least from what I've been told, is, you know, I hate to see the Big 12 get dispersed, but it looks like it's going to get dispersed.
Well, the 10 remaining teams are...
Well, but I don't think they're going to stay together. I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, I think what's going to happen is you're going to end up with 4 conferences, 4 major conferences, at least from everything I've been told by enough people that say that they end up with 4 conferences, and then they'll have those 4 conference champions play in the semifinals for the national championship and then the finals. And that makes common sense to me. Mm-hmm. And you know, the Big Ten network has been very, very successful, right? Because I'm sure one of the things that enticed Nebraska to want to come into the Big Ten, and of course, Nebraska sits right next to Iowa, and you know, my guess is that you're going to have the Big Ten's going to be 16 or 18 schools, and my guess is if that happens. And so, you know, it's great to see Nebraska. Nebraska's a great school and a great name and a great tradition to come into the Big Ten. So, I think it's a great addition to that, and I think it's you know, I think it'll help your recruiting. Nebraska will get stronger, and so will the Big Ten.
Well, great. Yeah,
it's a win-win, I think, for everybody.
You dotted the I with the marching band at the Minnesota game in 2006. You know, what do you remember about that experience?
Well, as most people I ever played in front of. I mean, 20,000 sitting back there look pretty big, but you walk out in 105,000, that's a few more.
That's a few more, yeah.
I just said, I hope I don't trip over the white line getting out there.
What do you think about Ohio State's team this year?
They should be pretty good this year.
Yeah. So, what do you think about Nebraska's team this year?
I know nothing about Nebraska.
So how do you think Nebraska will fare in the Big Ten? Or do you...
I think Nebraska will do very well. Nebraska's had a couple of down years, but they started coming back this last couple of years. Yeah. And Nebraska's got a great tradition. They'll do fine.
So do you think Nebraska and Ohio State has the potential to develop into a rivalry?
Anybody who will compete in the Big Ten, every school's a rival with every school, so Nebraska will certainly be that one with Ohio State too.
So have you ever been to a game in Lincoln?
Nope.
Okay.
No, never have.
You know, Tom Osborne, he was unable to come today to play golf, and he sends his regrets. Have you ever met Tom Osborne?
Oh, sure. Tom, nice man. I've known Tom for a long time.
Okay. All right. You know, I worked with Vince Ferragamo in his charity golf tournament. He just completed his 28th year. Have you ever met Vince?
No, I don't know Vince.
All right. So I'm sure he would like to invite you to his tournament some year, along with everybody else. You know. Yeah. You know, last couple questions. You know, another famous Nebraskan, you know, Larry the Cable Guy, you know, told me that he has not met you, but he played sports against your kids when he attended West Palm Beach High School. You know, so
is he from West Palm Beach, Larry the Cable Guy?
Yes, he is. You know,
how old is he?
He's probably 40. Right in the early 40s.
So of course, he would have competed maybe against Gary and Jack, or Gary and Steve.
So, so if you do come to a game in Lincoln, he would like to meet you. You know, so,
we can do that.
So I was going to say, is meeting the Larry the Cable Guy something that's on your bucket list?
Oh, man, that's right. How could it not be?
That's get her done.
That's right. So what do you have left on your bucket list career-wise?
Oh, I don't have anything on my bucket list particularly, but you know I enjoy what I do. Mm-hmm. I love doing golf courses. I get excited about being on a piece of ground. I I haven't played here. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Did I play a couple of years ago or not? I think we did. I played here a couple of times. I guess I played once after we did the opening.
That's right.
Yeah, that was a couple of years ago. And you know, I enjoyed it then, and I came back, and I really enjoyed it. The golf course is in really nice condition. We made some changes. Now, the golf course, when we originally did this golf course, I sort of felt like it was a golf course that it was going to be like no other golf course that we did. And the reason why it was is because the property was so unique. I decided to not move any dirt. And when I mean no dirt, I mean the greens were planted on the terrain, and the contours that were there existed. All we did was floated them off and planted them. So the greens were very difficult. But it was what was there. I didn't figure that somebody who comes from Omaha or Lincoln or Minneapolis or Denver or wherever they came from wanted to play the same golf course they were playing at home.
Right.
I mean, I felt like if you're going to travel that far, you're going to have that experience. Why in the world wouldn't you want to play something different? So I left it unique. Well, evidently, a lot of people came and they got turned off at the greens. Okay, well, they're ones that are actually paying the freight. Whether I like it and that was what I wanted to do, it isn't important that if it's not successful financially, then it doesn't make any sense. I mean, I can do whistle in the wind somewhere. It doesn't mean anything.
Right.
And so we came out about a year and a half ago. Well, about 4 years ago, we made a couple modifications in them, just sort of softened up a couple places. But early last year, I came out, I guess, and I decided to modify some of the greens and take out some of the huge humps and try to keep the terrain and the flavor of what's here, but make it more playable. And that's what we've done. And I played today, and I don't play at all. I mean, I shot 68 today. I mean, I'm going to broke them, stop my age or better, half a dozen times in my life, and I did it with ease today. And it didn't even putt well. So the golf course can't be too difficult anymore. And the greens, I promise you, I can play a pretty easy golf course and catch it 68. And but the golf course is so spectacular visually, and it'll change so much with wind conditions and weather conditions, and we've got the golf course right now. It really hasn't been cut this like I still call it spring. The rough hasn't been cut, but the rough needs to be cut back so you can find your golf ball and move on. But the golf course is so fun to play, and so it looks intimidating, yet it's user friendly, and that's what I wanted to get to. And so all my guys today, I had one guy came in from Denver, and I think he's a 7. First time he saw it today, he shot 74. And I mean, that's kind of fun to see people be able to enjoy your golf course and still be able to maintain the flavor of the sand hills. And this is Nebraska. This is the sand hills. This is what is it? Ogallala? What's
Ogallala.
Ogallala. Oh, I'm sorry. Ogallala aquifer underneath. And you have that situation here, and you've got it's so unique, and to bring people here to see it and to enjoy it and have fun with it. I have to bend a little from my standpoint to make that happen. That's what I did, and that's fine because I think we did a better job now. I wish I'd have done that the first time, but it's you pick up a philosophy and you try to do it.
Sure.
But anyway, it still fits the philosophy. It's still the integrity of it is still there, and but the golf course it's really fun, and people come out here to play it, they'll enjoy it.
Well, thank you. Well, Husker fans, come out here to Dismal River and play golf. And Jack, you have an open invitation to Memorial Stadium whenever from Larry.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay.